He already ready, buddy.
What's up, y'all? HTG Prime back live on HTGtv with our final PowerWash Simulator stream. This is very bittersweet. I got mixed emotions about it. As you guys know, I love this game, but we have run out of content. Well, we will after we finish these last 3 missions. This game has provided a ton of playability and replayability, especially due to some glitches that kept resetting some of my percentages. This is just the bonus jobs. This is where you find the Muckinghams is in here. But, you know, we obviously had the career, which had a buttload of missions, which some of you probably remember were very short, and some of them were very long. Each level had its own task that required you to do in order to ring off a trophy or an achievement. I did not really know that until about halfway through, so I had to go back and replay some of those levels to get some of those trophies. Then I also played some Power Wash with some friends, like cooperatively. I'm pretty sure Boo. I don't know if Boo's made the stream or not, but I've played with Boo. I've also played with Gray. I've also played with Tude. So I've logged a lot of time in this. Not to mention all the special DLCs, which half of these were, well, most of these were paid. Tomb Raider was not. Warhammer, I don't think was. And maybe Midgar, I don't think was. But Wallace and Gromit. The seasonal specials weren't either. These are the ones that kept resetting. I don't even want to open them because I'll probably find that they're not completed, thus making me want to complete them. But yeah, let's go ahead and say hey to the chat, and we'll go ahead and jump into some gameplay. This stream might go short, it might go long. I have really no clue of how long the last 2 missions are. Well, the last 2 DLCs. There's actually 3 areas, as you can see. The Muckingham Files Part 6 actually has 2 areas, the sculpture park and the subway train. Now, Chacho says they're fairly short, 20-25 minutes each, so it might be really short. We'll have to wait and see. Speaking of Chacho, he was number 1 today in our early notification squad. Brian D and Justin were number 2 and 3. Thanks for being early, guys. Much love, much love. We got Raised out there early too. What up, Raised? I see a Kirsten out there. I see a Paige out there. What is up? What is up? Good to see you both. Jason's out there as well. Grisama is back. April, what is up? Best game I played all year. Still enjoy replaying. Yes. So the bad and bitter news is that this is it. The good news is Power Wash Sim 2 is expected to release sometime this year. So we're already halfway through the year. So we got less than 6 months before we'll see it. There's been a ton of information revealed regarding it too. Let me just see if I can find a quick overview for you guys. Where was that? I saw a really good breakdown of it. And in fact, you know what I'm thinking about it? I think it was some random post on Facebook. But essentially, there's going to be like 29 new levels. There's going to be 4-player co-op instead of just 2. There's going to be a dog or a cat that you can pet. There is going to be a lot of customization beyond what we've already seen. Some of the levels are like labeled skyscrapers. So like maybe up on scaffolding, having to go up and down and you know, be all sketchy up in the high rise. Trying to think of what else stood out to me. Trying to think. I'm sure I'll come up with more. But anyways, definitely looking forward to that. I'm wondering, the game sounds pretty complete. So I'm wondering if they're going to do like a shadow drop where like maybe at the next like Gamescom or something, they're like, download it today for $40 or whatever, right? Like, take my money. Take my money. What up, Ben? Good to see you, man. All right. Okay. Looks like I've officially made it through. Let's go ahead and jump into the first one, which is clean the dessert parlor. Let's see, I got 0%. Swear I just heard Drex barking. Chacho said use the triple shreddy ready. which is probably a good idea. Okay, gonna turn this down. Let me know how you guys are doing out there with audio, like me versus the spray. I don't want to be competing for it. I want it to be there, but not a problem. So, yeah, not a lot to report. I did, so yesterday I was complaining, like, my paycheck had not come in yet. It came in. I wasn't really worried, but it was just very unusual, right? Like you don't normally see dates like that come and go without something happening, right? Like, and so I was starting to wonder, but I wasn't panicking yet. We're totally good. I wasn't like dying for it or whatever. But like I said, it was one of those things where I was kind of starting to be like, this is weird. This has never happened before, except for that one time when demonetized. No, I'm just kidding. Alright, this is shredding poker. Somewhat just waking up even though I work today. Alright, well, hopefully you're not like me and you take like an hour before your brain starts functioning. Sometimes even longer. Depending on how good a sleep I got, that can vary from like, 30 to 60 minutes to like a day and a half. Definitely, whoops. Definitely, I'm slow in the morning. I need a few minutes. And I've known that for a long time. Like, when I was younger, I used to, like, get up and just throw myself into the mix with everybody, like my roommates or, family or whatever. And it was very obvious that I wasn't ready for that yet. And, like, there was a few moments that I could think of that, like, I sort of lost my cool. And, yeah, I started realizing, okay, maybe I should, like, tinker on my phone or, like, lay in bed and watch some TV for something, right? Like, just get the brain sort of up and out of its resting mode. Because you don't want to see me when I'm in resting mode. Hey, what up, Rob? Hey, that's okay. I mean, my body physically won't let me do that anymore. I used to, though. I used to sleep in a lot. In fact, when I was back in, like, the SOCOM era, when I was working for, when I was doing telemarketing, which you're welcome, I probably called you at least 6 times. I didn't work until 4. It was 4 to 10. Those were my shifts, and yeah, it was good times. I'd get off at 10, we'd go back to my pad, or just simply log on. I would go back to my pad and log on to SOCOM and play. I had a couple of guys I worked with that played with me. One of them ended up becoming like one of my really good friends. We got a house together, the SOCOM house. And we used to sleep till 2 o'clock, 2:30, get up, shower, eat some food. Then usually we would roll into work at like 3:15, 3:30. There was a cool dude that ran like the dialer. He was like the IT guy. He was like a couple of years older than us, but hung out with all of the younger crowd. So he didn't really ever have any older friends or anything, so we were always like hanging with him, partying with him. And this was back in the day of like pre-smartphones, and he had this program that he used that he could basically manipulate songs through like the sounds of the foam. So we had like Outkast songs and like all these weird songs, like way ahead of its time. I don't know how. I still don't know how he did it. As somebody who feels like they're pretty savvy when it comes to electronics and stuff. I have no idea how he had some sort of program that he was able to, and maybe it just created like a little synth MP3, and then he was able to set that as the ringtone. I don't know. I really don't know. But it was really cool. He used to hook us all up. We'd show up early, so hey man, Dave, you gonna hook us up today or what? I don't know whatever happened to him. He moved here from New York to work for the company, and I'm sure he was getting paid nice. But I don't know whatever happened to him. We all quit working there about the same time, and then shortly after, the place went down. What up, Matt? Don't talk to me until I have my coffee covered. Which sometimes can be all day. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Only when Nom's around, right? Only when Nom's around. Yeah, speaking of Nom, I need to figure out what our plan is this week. We're gonna play Apex on Friday. If I should try to round up the squad for another opportunity, or if I should do the game break. Got lots of options. Lots of options. And then Sunday we leave. I'm pretty excited for it. We were just talking today, though, like, it's been a continued conversation. We really don't know what the crap we're going to do, because normally we have Reese and one of his friends with us. So, like, if we need to run to the store or whatever, we can be like, Reese, stay here, watch the dog. And then we go, right? Without him being there, one of us will likely have to stay behind. Now, we can leave him behind. Like, Drex is a pretty good boy. We could leave him behind in the condo, and I'm sure he'd probably be fine. But there are deer, rabbits, gophers, all sorts of things that he could likely see. And you say, oh, well, just close the blinds. Well, he has a way of, like, working his head through blinds, or, like, pushing out. Like, he's a smart boy. If he wants to look out the window, he's likely going to find a way to look out the window. And if, something happens and he starts barking and we're gone, that's the last thing we need, because we're really, only able to bring him there as an emotional support dog. So he has like a service dog vest and everything, and that's essentially why, right? And it goes both ways. Like, we need him and he needs us just as much. He has that like separation anxiety. So it's going to be challenging. And like I said, my dad and my dad's wife are going to be there. They're not staying with us, but they're staying at the resort. So they'll be real close by. And I'm sure we'll hang and do dinners and maybe watch some movies or whatever. Oh, whoa. I didn't even see that. I was like, what is happening? But just the process will be different this year. We normally take our like kayaks or our floaties. Traditionally, we used to take just some rings to float down or do whatever, but we're not going to be able to do that this year. Drex is not a water dog. He does not care for the water. He likes to touch the ground, non-swimmer. And on top of that, he's not very good around large crowds. He just wasn't ever exposed as a puppy. And he's got some, some anxiety over stuff like that. So he barks a lot, which sometimes, we're pretty sure he's just barking, like talking like, hey, look at me. Hey, you over there, you look at me. But, he could be saying some pretty explicit things that we don't know, too. And his intent, as time goes on, we've always felt like he's such a sweet boy. But like the murder cat story that I told you about, I'm not sure what would have happened if he would have gotten, like, if that cat would have charged a little further, I know Drex would have protected me. But I don't know what that means. Like, does that mean that he was gonna like grab it and shake it? Like, he has very little experience around other cats and animals other than Cutie. So when he found that squirrel that day, he broke its neck, whether he meant to or not. He broke its neck, and I just don't really want to see that ever. So we don't take him out, is what I'm getting at. He doesn't get to go and do the fun things, and it's mainly because he's a schmohawk. We have like a really expensive collar, training collar that we bought. I was like over it like 4 years ago. I was like, that's it, we're buying it. And she was like, it's like $300. I was like, I don't care, it's gonna make our life better. And we both got it. We got it. And once we got it, I was like, so you're gonna do it? She's like, no, are you gonna do it? Like, it's like a trainer, like there's a vibration before the shock, but it's essentially a shock collar. And neither of us want to do that to Drek. So our fear of creating more trauma for him has prevented us from being able to likely desensitize him or train him in a way that would be effective. You know, he is an older pup now. He's you know, going on 7. I guess he's more like 6.5, but he's getting up there. You know, some dogs live a long time. 12, 13, 14, 15 years. I think the average expectancy of like a dog his size is like 10 to 12, I think. I don't really know. That's kind of my understanding, though. The numbers may be off. Who's Mohawk? You know what's funny is Reese's boss has been sweating him, trying to get him to get a Mohawk. So Reese was telling me he wants to have his mom muster up. His hair's pretty long, so it'd be a pretty tall Mohawk. He doesn't want to shave his sides or do anything extravagant. He just wants to like take his current hairstyle and make it into a Mohawk, and then show up to work with it, and just surprise his boss. And I think that's hilarious because Zane's awesome, and he would definitely get a kick out of that. Hopefully Reese and Zane aren't watching the stream listening right now. I'm sure they're not. Reese is anti-dad again for whatever reason, so I'm sure he's not. Although I did get him to watch 28 Days Later yesterday, so we just have to watch 28 weeks, and then he and I will probably, hopefully, go see the movie before we go to Eagle Crest. That's my hope. You know, and I don't know what Jillian's gonna do. She keeps telling me she's not gonna watch it, but there's like this weird spark when she like the things she says about it makes me feel like she might go see the new one, so she doesn't miss out. Because she's seen the other two, and she's always like, they're so scary. And there are moments of chasing, and I'll give you that. There's puckery moments for sure, but you know, like 28 Days Later, there's a lot of downtime. There's also a lot of human interaction that's really questionable too. So although it's not necessarily great like family programming, it isn't super scary or super, but like the thought of it is pretty gross. You know, like there's some soldiers. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie. I'm not spoiling anything. It's a 20-year-old movie. But there's some soldiers, and they think they've seen the last of humanity. They think they're the last humans on the planet, and then these two girls show up, and they get some pretty crazy ideas about the necessity to repopulate the Earth. I mean, they don't even. It's only been 28 days, which I guess would probably feel like an eternity in a situation like that. But it's not good. It's not good stuff. Now, in the end, nothing bad happens. It gets close, but nothing bad happens. And the movie is somewhat kind of, it's not boring, that's definitely not the right word, but it is pretty slow. Like there's a lot of mystery, and if you've seen it before, then the mystery isn't there. It's just kind of like, in a way, it's kind of slow building. Take a lot of hair gel. Yeah. Well, we definitely got some good stuff. I made a reference to a movie that I won't bring up, but some of you may figure out if you think about it. And I got booed out of the room for that. And that actually may be why Reese is anti-dad. I don't know. I'll win him back before the week's over. Especially, I might be buying some new wheels and slicks for my car. There's a local guy, I don't know him, but he lives here in Salem. He's got a pretty decent little setup for a very fair price. If it goes any lower, I'm going to have a hard time not jumping on it. That's what I told the wife. Like, I don't want to offer him anything yet because he just put it up and it's a pretty valid offer. But if, like let's say we go to Eagle Crest and come back and they still haven't sold, which I can't imagine they won't. It's one of those almost too good to be true deals. Because, like, the wheels are basically brand new. They're flawless. They have no bends, cracks, scratches, curb rash, anything. And they have tires on it, but they're not just tires, they're slicks. They're racing tires, which are more expensive than regular tires. And he's asking less than the new set of wheels would be. So basically, you're getting free tires and a discounted price on more or less a brand new set of wheels. He said he only took them down the pass 4 or 5 times, and then he sold the car, and he doesn't have the car anymore, so he needs to get rid of them. The new car he bought doesn't have the same wheel pattern, so he can't reuse them. And he seems to have a fair amount of money based on the cars he has and what he's driving. So if I get those slicks, Reese can be like, let me use them, which they would fit on his car, but they would go on mine. Yeah, it's a pretty sweet deal. But like I said, I don't want to be that guy lowballing on the first day. He just posted them like last night, according to Facebook. It said 14 hours ago. Come on. I was like stuck. That's weird. Well, Chacho, it's 25 minutes. I've been definitely spraying for at least 15, if not 20 of those. And I'm not even half done yet with the first one. I have no idea. The other two may be really small, though, too, so. I feel like the sculpture museum would have some funny anglage and stuff that's going to take a little while. Alright, if worst case scenario, we end stream early, that's not a bad thing for me. I haven't washed my car in like 10 days. It rained, and then it got sunny for like 2 days, and I was going to wash it, but then it was going to rain for the next 3 days, so I was like, I'll just wait. So I waited, and it's going to be sunny for like forever. And I still don't know if we're taking 2 cars to Eagle Crest or just the one. And I don't mind driving over there. Although to put me over my 5,000 mile marker, I'm getting pretty close. I'm at like 4,920 or something like that. So it's definitely going to happen soon. But not bad for a 24. I mean, it's almost been 6 months of ownership for me. That is wild. Julian and I were talking about that last night. We've officially hit the year mark for the Tesla. So we've officially owned the Tesla for over a year now. And no complaints. She put quite a few miles on it. That's the only thing. I think she has like 16,400 or something like that. So here I am bragging about low miles, and then we bring up the Tesla, which has not high miles, but definitely not low miles for a 24. It got used. She also works, like 35, 40 miles away, so it essentially adds probably 55 to 70 miles every single day. Well, not every day. Monday through Friday, of course. Feel like I've missed some things. Yeah, see, I knew it. Knew I wasn't complete over there. Yeah, this one's alright. I mean, it'd be a lot cooler if it had, like... What would be really dope is if there was this thing called, like, the scent cannon or something, where, like, you could hook up to a console and have, like, this device that would, you know, like right now we're in a candy shop, so make it smell like a candy shop, right? Make my room smell delicious and sweet. But then there's the backside or downside to it, because if we were to have that same technology applied, let's say in the restrooms, because remember we had to do some restrooms, that probably would not be as inviting. However, you can turn it on and off whenever you wanted, or not add those smells. Be like printer ink. You have to like replenish certain scents. I don't know what you'd get to mix, though. You'd need a lot of scents. And I don't know if that makes sense. Oh, boo. Okay. I get it. There's like a new Walking Dead series on. You know, Julian and I watched religiously The Walking Dead. They had an after show called Talking Dead, you know, that was on after, and we watched that almost every single week too. They didn't start that till like season 4 or something, but it was a pretty good like secondary show. They always had like cast members on there, and they'd rewatch clips and show previews of next week and yada yada. It was funny. Chris Hartwick was the host, and may still be doing that. I don't know. We fell out of the loop. Like once they did a pretty bold move in the like the 10th season, maybe 9th season or something like that of The Walking Dead, which went 12 seasons if I remember right. And they basically sent off a couple cast members, and what they didn't tell us right away was that they were prepping and gonna make like side shows, and in a way it was kind of a mystery, and like they sort of acted like they killed some of these cast members. And that all being said, we kind of lost interest when some of the main people just started falling, right? You know, we've been watching it for 9-10 years, and then all of a sudden some of the main people are just not there. They just wanted us to follow these newer... And there were still some original people, don't get me wrong. But all of that being said, we sort of just fell out of the... I don't know if we just grew out of it. That's a long time to watch a show. Like, 'cause they did one season a year, 12 seasons. That's 12 years. And, I mean, most of it was pretty good. Some of it was kind of like, what? And we didn't really get into the sideshows. So I know there's like 3 of them. We did watch Fear the Walking Dead, which originally was supposed to not be the same timeline or universe or blah, blah, blah. But then they had crossover where some of the people from the main show. So, like, I don't know. I felt kind of lied to on some accounts, too. And I hated that. I hated that about Lost as well. You know, Lost was a really good show. Same type of thing. Long show running. Similar ending scenarios where, you know, things didn't really add up. And, like, people were guessing what was happening early, and they guessed it, and then the producer's like, no, that's not it, you guys are crazy. And then it turned out that one of the guesses was actually right, you know. And it was like, wait a minute, what? Did you guys just get lazy and let the fans write the ending for you, or was this all it the whole time and you just didn't want to admit to it because you got busted? People found you out? You know, I could never figure that out, and it sort of ruined my relationship at the end with it. I still love the show. One of my favorite all-time experiences, watching that show live in real time. And oh, I think it's happening right now. Oh no, we missed it. There is a thing, game sent. That's hilarious. I came up with that concept 20 years, 30 years ago, and I'm sure I wasn't the first person to do this. But I suggested, Jillian and I talked about this too, a great length, but there was really no technology, or we certainly didn't have the money, still don't have the kind of money it would take, but taking a movie theater, right? And like retrofitting the seats so that the seats have like I don't know, some sort of vibration availability, so that like when the big jump scares hit and the dun and things like that, it'd shake the chair, right? So just add that feel, and then having the sense as well. So like, and then funny enough, we go to Disneyland and we're screwing around, and there's that air flight museum ride or whatever. I can't remember what it's called, but when you get on these, you strap in, and you're like kind of like not hanging because you are sitting, but your legs are free, and there's all these people in rows above you and rows below you. And Kirsten probably knows what it's called because she has some history with Disney. But like you fly, you're like flying, and it's like simulates you going through the air, and like as you fly through like flower fields, like there's all this flower scent emitted into the room, and so like you smell it, and then like you're flying in a rainforest and you can smell like the wet, watery, just fresh rain smell, and like, and then you fly through an outhouse. No, I'm just kidding. That would be the worst. That would be the worst. Soaring over California. Yeah, I think that sounds about right. I remember my dad wanted to go do it, and we had no idea what it was, and we waited and waited, and we had a rough day because like couple of the rides, like the Haunted Mansion, broke down multiple times while we were waiting. It took us like 2.5 hours to get through the line. Once you're like an hour and a half waiting in, you don't want to walk away. But we were all like, oh my God, we're so hungry. My legs are so tired. I wish we would just move. Oh, we're moving. Then 2 steps. Okay, we're waiting again. And so we got to this other one, and the same thing happened. And my dad, you know, he is very impatient with stuff like that, and after having to sit through 2 or 3 different experiences, then be on this one, he felt terrible too, because he's like, yeah, I really want to do that. We're like, all right, let's go, Dad, let's do it. That ended up being our favorite ride of the whole thing. Like, everybody loved that one the most. I'm pretty sure my dad's wife didn't go, and I remember too, like being strapped in and being lifted up, and sort of starting to go into like one of my like little mini panic attacks. And I remember thinking like, oh my God, I'm strapped in, I'm up in the air, I can't leave. Like, I had all these random like stupid thoughts, and then like all of a sudden like I could smell, and I was like, huh, and then I was like, the breeze is blowing in my hair. I'm like, oh, that feels good, you know, like it ended up being so good. 62%. The orange smell. Yeah, there was definitely a bunch. It's been quite a few years now since we went, which is wild. It does not feel like it's been that long. But it was 2017 when we went. November. We went for Thanksgiving. So, I mean, coming up on what, 8 years in November? 8 years. That's crazy. Keep telling the wife we need to go to Disney World. You know, there's places I'd like to go, but I just am so unsure about so many things. Like, you know, just a lot of just countries in general. Like, I just don't. Some of them are really exotic to me, and like I'm worried that like food choices are going to be limited. You know, a lot of places have the necessity of cooking with onions, you know? And I mean, I guess as time goes on, more and more humans have dietary restrictions, so more and more places are probably being aware of that. And I don't travel internationally at all, so I have no idea what it's like outside of Oregon, really. But, whoa, that was fun. I was going up the ladder. But yeah, like, you know, Nam and I've talked about, like, when he goes to, like, Japan or Vietnam or, you know, any of the places that he travels to, I'm always like, what would I eat? He's like, oh, you'd starve. Because he knows most of like the things that I like and what I can't eat and how, you know, he's like, oh yeah, you'd starve. You know, I'm like, well, that's not very helpful, bro. We've talked about going on some trips before, but then it always ends with him telling me, oh, you're gonna starve. Yeah, there's no way you'd make it, bro. You'd die on this thing. Now it's soaring over the world. See, that might have been what it was, because we flew over like all sorts of like. I feel like we went to Holland. I feel like we went. But yeah, either way, like we're talking the same thing. It was really cool. The line, the waiting area is all these like plaques and like posters of all these. You know, special moments and aerial history and like aeronautical history and you know, all the different, like there's like parts of planes and a lot of like war nostalgia and it's like a really cool area. Like we really enjoyed it. And if we got to go to Disney World, we'd go see Paz. You know, it's crazy. Like, Paz and I have known each other for like 22, 23-ish years. Never been in the same room at the same time. BHU and I, same story. Bobby and I, fight, same story. Like, I mean, it just goes on and on and on and on and on. There's a lot of those dudes that I've never met. Now, 9mm Sword, who showed up the other day on stream, old 503 guy, he and I have met. Josh and I have been in the same room at the same time. And Reese and I, we've been in the same room. But like Tude and I, never met. Gray and I, never been in the same room, same time. I'd love to have like an HTG gathering where everybody was available to come, right? Like Kirsten and Ray's, which I have met both of them in person. You know, so that's crazy to think, huh? Like Kirsten lives in LA, you know, and I mean, Tude lives in Ohio, quite a long distance. But I'm trying to think. Like Flight lives in Vegas. That's not. It's probably closer to me mile-wise than Kirsten is. It's probably pretty close. Yeah, and Ray's lives way up in northern Washington that we've met. Because they made effort to come see me. Hint, hint. I actually had a close friend that our friendship pretty much ended because they got really upset that they had to always come see me in my house. Now, keep in mind, this person did not have any family, girlfriend, obligations, anything, and moved an hour away from where we all live and was getting mad at me. So, on top of that, he very rarely had gas money or things like that, and I would always give him gas money. I would feed him when he'd get here. Like, there was so many perks coming to my house. And, of course, you know, I had Reese, so that was one of the harder things, too. Like, not that I couldn't go places with Reese, but it just made that aspect of it easier, because then I didn't have to bring stuff to entertain him or put him off, you know, or anything like that. So Reese always had everything here. And that was, like, one of the big arguments. Like, you never come see me in my house. I've lived there for 2 years, and you've never been there once. You always made me... Like, bro, you always make me pay for your gas to come see me. Like, you're able to come see me because of things that I'm making happen. Like, I don't understand what the problem is. You really want me to come to your tiny little apartment and an hour away where and bring my naggy kid? Okay. People just have different things. Well, we're getting pretty close here, 76%. been good therapy getting through this level, getting it nice and clean. There is a spray paint simulator that I do plan on checking out. I've got it downloaded on the Xbox. It's free on Game Pass. And I was thinking, hopeful, that I'd have one more Monday before I left, but I do not. I have not seen Spray Paint Simulator take off quite like PowerWash Sim did. But it's still early. It just dropped like a couple, 3 weeks ago or something. Anybody out there played it? April? Anybody checked out Spray Paint Simulator yet? Any of my PWS faithfuls? I find it wild. There's 101 trophies for this. I mean, technically there's 100 plus the platinum. So on Xbox there'd be 100 achievements. Peppermint oil was a raccoon deterrent. It's actually a lot of rodent deterrent. I learned that up at our cabin, up at the pond. We had that problem with the rats getting into our feed bins. So I got that mint spray, and it didn't stop them, but it definitely deterred them. Especially spraying it around it's like they weren't gone from the establishment by using it, but it kept them out of our bins. Once a week, I just spray the tops of the bins, and then snap them tight, you know, in our little Rubbermaid tubs. But I'm sure they're back in full force. I haven't been to the pond in like, it's probably been at least a year. We'll probably stop there on our way up to Eagle Crest, because we have to drive right by it. Just depends on what time we get out of here, what the weather's like. If it's raining, but if it's nice, we'll probably park the Tesla at the bottom and then go take the D-Man up and walk, check out the cabin and all that. It's been a long time. Check out the pond, maybe fly the drone. Again, it all depends on what time we get out of here. We can't check into our place until like 5? I think it's 5 o'clock check-in. Because checkout is noon or 1. I can't remember. And then they've got like a 3 to 4 hour window to get it all clean. It's a condo, so they got to like, you know, do all the laundry and wash all the dishes, which we pretty much set up and do all that for them anyways. You have to put all the dirty laundry in like in the bathtub downstairs, which happens to have the washer and dryer right next to it. Usually we start it too, but I looked at it but haven't tried it yet. Was waiting. All right, I like it. Saving money, so maybe one. Hey, that well, maybe. It'd be cool, like I said, it'd be really cool to have like a HTG get together. You know, I don't see it as being like a convention or anything of that nature, because we certainly just don't have a community big enough to benefit from something like that. But it would be cool to do like a HTG weekend somewhere, right? Like maybe we all go to Las Vegas or something where, you know, we all get together and do some fun stuff, or go to PAX, right? Like we all go to PAX up in Seattle or something, you know, because that would be super fun. And we talked about it this last year, but we didn't go for various reasons. But Reese really wants to go this year. So we've talked about it. Sign-ups for it are going to be in the next couple of weeks, because it happens usually end of August, early September. Usually like the final weekend of August or like the first week of September. And I know that because it's usually right around the time where my wife has to go back to work. And so she doesn't like making that trip. because it just complicates her return back to work, and sometimes it interferes like with the actual days that she's supposed to be there. She did get to go back in like 2015, so 10 years ago, and we took Reese as well. But we just went as I'm pretty sure I had a media pass. I can't remember, but I didn't do hardly anything with it because I had Reese and Jillian, and I feel like we went to stay for 3 days or something, but I think I ended up going to 1 day of the show with Reese and Jillian, or maybe I went 2. I can't remember. Like all the people I used to go with, like, you know, Patrick and Shane and Malik and, you know, even my guys, Mark and Doug and the people that have been to those shows. Like Mark went every time I went because he lived in Tacoma and I'd go stay with him. And it was, you know, Tacoma's like a, I don't know, 25, 30-minute drive. It was way easier than staying in a hotel and being all by myself. He knew all the ins and outs, all the places, the park, all the stuff. It was fun. But I don't know if we'll do that again. If I end up signing up and all that, I'll definitely let everybody know. So that if and when that works out in anybody's schedule, that maybe we could cross paths. Yeah, Mark moved. He now lives in Puyallup, which I'm not really sure of the proximity to downtown Seattle. I feel like it's further away. Raised, are you out there? Would Puyallup technically be a further go from Seattle than Tacoma, right? Like quite a bit, because Puyallup's east, right? I've been there, but it's been years since I've been there. I used to go to the Volkswagen Spring Meet at the Expo Center like every year, which was super sketch for my old Ars Jetta that I used to drive. I just beat the crap out of that thing and then drive it like a couple 100 miles up there and back. Like it was I always had good luck. Never broke down or anything. Had some issues overheating at one point, but I mean, I got through it. Old photos from those shows. Never been to PAX. We're going to ECCC. You are? We only no. But the question is Puyallup closer or further than Tacoma in proximity to downtown Seattle? I feel like it's like further. Yeah, I'm gonna be playing some more Days Gone while I'm gone too. I plan on playing a little bit, showing the wife, and like going to some of the landmarks in game, and then being like, all right, this is our journey for today. We're going to Lost Lake, or we're going to, you know, wherever, the Metolius Falls. I'm gonna see if I can't find like Black Butte and some other big place. Like I know the McKenzie Highway was listed on there, but I did not ever see the McKenzie Pass. Oh, 99? Dang, that happened really fast all of a sudden. Okay. I already got this one, right? Nope, I did not. I'm not seeing anything flashing. Are you guys? It's east of, but south of Seattle. We go towards Seattle. this guy. Gotta be some like secret. And there's at least 4 items that I have not got yet. So is there like a way to open up doors or something? I'm looking to see if I see any. Oh, 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 something was over there. The window. The window. To the window! To the wall! There it is, yeah. There's no, like, other room? Where is it? Under the counters. It's gotta be vending machine. Okay, so this is one of them. The display case glass. Oh, it is right. There it is. And ice cream machine trays. Waffle iron. Ice cream machine trays. Return. Okay. No. There's gotta be one more of those somewhere. No? Where are they? Ice cream machine trays. Oh, it's gotta be right here. Yep, alright. Yeah. Alright, took just under an hour to get that one done. It's where the big fair is. Yeah, I'm sure at the fairgrounds. That's where the spring meet always was. Let's see here. When is PAX West? PAXsite.com. Welcome to PAX. Accept all cookies. I like cookies. PAX West is August 29th through September 1st. Tickets are on sale? Buy badges? Wow, badges are actually for sale already and they're not sold out? When did these go live? These things sell out instantaneously. Looking for applications for media, content creators, enforcers, and more? Head to Get Involved page. Content application. June 20th is the deadline. I missed it by 3 friggin' days. By 3 friggin' days? Form is inactive and not currently taking submissions. Well, guess I won't be going this year. That's wild that they already have tickets for sale. and that they're not sold out. People be scalping the crap out of those, like, seriously. All right, clean the subway. Choo-choo. We go turn Tacoma and turn. Yeah, that makes sense. Sounds about right. So this is just a little guy. This is just a little guy. Well, I hate to say it, but it looks like we're looking at a half stream today. And it's got an inside too. I'm guessing these two will take me about an hour to do. This one and the other one. Ding, ding, ding. Hey, Jerry! Eat fresh. You know, it's been a long time since I've been to Subway. When I think of sandwiches like that, I always go to like Jersey Mike's or Firehouse Subs. I just don't even consider Subway a sandwich option. We also have a local place called New York Kazi's, a local mom and pop deli that has, you know, all kind of meats if you want, you know, sliced meat or a thing of pastrami or whatever, they got you. They also make mac every day. So like they have bacon mac, jalapeno mac, double cheese mac, home style mac. They have a bunch of different macs. It's like every day it's a different one. And that sounds delicious. I'd take a Kazi's. Actually, we have stuff to make sandwiches. They have two sandwiches that I absolutely love though. One's basically a honey ham with sweet honey mustard. And like it's like really sweet honey mustard, like candy almost. And then they also have a bacon and turkey. They call it the fratello, I think is what they call it. I probably have it backwards. I probably have the wrong names, but yeah, I haven't, like Subway's got those like foot-long cookies and like all these different things. I have not eaten there since like, I think since before the Jared thing. Like that's how long it's been. Like honestly, it's been years. What, when I was younger, high school and stuff, yeah, Subway all the time. Pre Jimmy John's, pre Jersey Mike's, pre Firehouse. Like they were the go-to, right? Like they were delicious. I loved a good meatball until I found out that those meatballs sometimes sit out for 5, 6, 7 days. Like they never swap them or they just sit in the simmerer. So that's probably changed because that rumor got out. So they're probably a little bit more on it. But yeah, I'd eat one of them meatballs and get super sick. Let's see here. I was remembering rent. Okay, so there's a second train car. Okay, so it's not just a singular car. And there's an inside too. All right, we might be on it longer than I thought. Hey, what up, John? One car, I've almost got the whole outside done. I probably have the roof to do too, but 10%, I mean, there's more to do here than I thought. Chacho wide. Yep, I'm on it. I knew it. I just said it. I just said that, Chacho. Let's see. I wonder if there's any, nope, no down low. It's very miraculous that the train only gets dirty on the top and the side that shows people. Hey, what up? It's Gray. We haven't had any Gurgis interrupted today. I'm just now realizing too. Ray and I need to catch up and play some games. It's been like days. I think the last time he played Apex with us was the last time I played any game. Not a lot to play right now, though, if I'm being honest. I did find some new stuff. What was it? I found something new and I added it to my wish list. Just crow things. It looked fun. Ready or not. So here's that spray paint simulator. Only 15 bucks. There's also house clean simulator, which is almost a complete replica. There's cannabis shop simulator. I think that was... So it must have been just crow things that I added. There's a new taxi driver too, but I don't know if it looks as good. It was cool to clean the cars. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I did that years ago. That's what it feels like anyways. Yep, I will have at least 178 hours by the time I'm done with today's stream. That's just on the PS5 version. I played a little PS4, and I've also played on the Xbox as well. So, I mean, between all of them, I mean, I probably have 200 plus 240-ish hours. Like, that's wild. Absolutely wild. What was the ladder? I was like, what can I interact with down there? That'd be really crazy if it like started moving and it went to the next destination. You gotta hold on. You gotta do some Tom Cruise Mission Impossible on top of a train car kind of stuff. Speaking of which, man, I really want to see that new one. I should have gone to the theater. I think it's still playing in there, but I'm gonna have like a crazy swell of movie theater sightings because I'm gonna see 28 years later, hopefully this week. I'm gonna have to go see The Naked Gun when that drops in August. Wife and I were talking about that last night. We need to rewatch all the original three. Good old Frank Drebin, and I absolutely love those movies. And then there's also the Mission Impossible too that I really wanted to see because it's supposed to be the final Mission Impossible, at least before they reboot and change the cast or whatever, because we all know that'll happen. It's too long running of a series to just disappear. Although Get Smart kind of fell off into nowhere. Like they did the Steve Carell one, and I thought that would get a whole bunch more play, but it pretty much ended with that. I don't think there's any plans to do another one, which I thought was really well done. Anne Hathaway and him did a great job in that. Those were good too. Good to hear, Chacho. Good to hear. Yeah, I've loved all those movies. The Mission Impossible movies are movies that I could literally pretty much just watch over and over and over and over and over again. And some of them I definitely have. Like the first one I've seen probably 20, 25 times over the years. The second one, I haven't seen it as much as the third one. The third one was on TV a lot for whatever reason. They were running it like crazy. And then like Rogue Nation and some of the newer ones, like those were really good too. Like how about when he uses those gloves on the side of the Dubai building and the sandstorm comes in? Like there's some super sweet epic moments in those movies. And Tom does a great job. Like love or hate him in real life, he's phenomenal as Ethan. a ding 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 ding. 26% already. Triple ready, shreddy. So there's a new race game that just came out on Xbox. It's been on PC for a couple years. I really want to check it out, but I have it on PC, so I just need to check it out on PC. I just haven't had time. I've been juggling a bunch of different things. Right now it's game break week again, so I'm like actively trying to stack up all my assets and load them up into the Streamlabs program and then map them all the buttons for my Stream Deck so that I have some functionality of what I'm showing. Basically, I have a bunch of photos and videos of races and things from the bug run this year, the Volkswagen show. So I'm excited to share that stuff with you. I got a few updates on the sunflowers as well. Come on, yeah. And then, okay, so those are all done. This one is not. And then got a few other things. Some of you have already seen some of the stuff, like my Father's Day gift from Reese. That was pretty sweet. Come on. There we go. I think I got all the roof now. Yep. It's good, that's good. Got it. Get what you pay for. Get it. Got it. Get what you pay for. Oh, psych. Got it. Got it. Okay. Thought that was a new comment. I was wrong. I have to go back and get the door on the other one. I don't think I got that. Okay. Now what? Door didn't ding off. That's weird. I swear I just shot some dirt off of it and it didn't ring off. But it's done. That's pretty cool, John. We definitely have videos if you're looking for help. It'll be better than the stream videos, but if you're just wanting to play along with, so you can potentially help out or just to go along with, whatever the case may be, that's fine too. We're getting there. I'm struggling. I mentioned this yesterday that I plan on taking at least one book with me to Eagle Crest. I'm going to try to read through some of my backlog of books. I actually have a couple of other books that I want to get, but I have not ordered them yet because I just haven't finished the books that I already own. I'm currently 3 full, like, thick boy books away from being caught up. I also have a couple of smaller comic reading. Basically, Kevin Smith, one of my favorite people on the planet, made comics, and the comics I bought and own are all sealed up and nice and good shape maybe will be worth money 20 years down the road. Maybe not. Probably not. But they came out with hardback versions of them, so I don't have to get into the comics to read the actual comics. And I know that sounds silly, but you know, as a collector, you want your stuff to be pristine, and reading through is going to break the binds and change things. So I have opted to not do that, and I've collected all of them, so that's pretty cool. I think I even have all the limited edition covers and everything. Let's make sure. Okay, let's open you up. Open you up. Open you up. Okay, so let's do the outer rims. That should have rang off. Must be some innards. I swear the other sides were able to ring off, but maybe I'm tripping. Sort of feeling lost now without having a game to grind on. I had Arcade Paradise I was working on for so long, and that game came to an end on Monday last week. It's been a whole week. There's nothing to do. Actually, that's not true. I have checked out a game that I'm not allowed to really talk about yet, or anything that I have early access to. I think you guys will enjoy it. The problem is it becomes available Wednesday, and I mean, I could potentially play that game. Oh no, actually I'm wrong. It's Thursday. The embargo for talking about it is Wednesday. The embargo for playing it and uploading video content is Thursday. So I've considered maybe doing like a short little how do you do, but I have not decided that. Knowing I'll be off for a while, I thought about checking it out. But it may or may not be a game on my PlayStation right now. Very interesting. I think a lot of you will find it cute and fun. I don't know how hard the trophy list is or anything like that. I haven't really looked into that. Only played a wee bit, and I played on Reese's account, so you won't see any progress or anything on mine. But if you are friends with Reese, which I'm not suggesting or any of that, but just saying if you are, I've played a wee bit. In a way, it's almost like, I don't know how to. It's not like Portal, but it has some very basic characteristics in the sense of how the game functions, but yet it's not like it at all. So, yeah, take that. See if you can make something out of that. Yeah, it's something that caught my eye and I was very interested in based on the art and whatnot. It's just very different looking, and it plays pretty alright. Like I said, if I could stream it on Wednesday, I would swap Mario Kart World out for it. Mario Kart World would probably do better. But I mean, all I have left is knockout rounds, basically. Because I don't have the online. I don't plan on getting the online. So we'll see. I might not even play Mario Kart on Wednesday. I'll play something, but I don't know. I know you guys are all loving Mario Kart, especially, you know, the ones who are not interested in buying the Switch 2 but want to see the game. get warm up here. It's supposed to be 83 or something like that today. 81, 83. And it's already 72 in the room. It's probably equal that outside. When wife went to go walk the dog, you know, half hour before stream, it was 67, 65, something like that. Mid to high 60s. I mean, that was a couple hours ago. Getting some weird audio in my headset. I don't know if it's kind of garbly. I don't know if it's happening for you guys at times too. It's very subtle, but it's definitely there. Almost sounds like water. Oh yeah, that was another thing they said. The soap for PowerWash 2 is supposed to stay on the wall more. There's supposed to be like some physics that change a little bit of how things work. So that's got me curious. Get out of here, Gerg! Should have sensed that coming. Always interrupting us. Surprised you're even living in regular reality now that you have virtual reality too. Do you even live in regular reality now that you have virtual reality too? Out here shredding with the red end. Ching, 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 ching. I wish I was making money this fast. Ching, ching, even though it is only like $1.25 or 50 cents or 25 cents. Ching, 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 ching. Just basically constant ching. Gotta make that money, man. You know what's funny is this morning I logged into the HTGtv account on YouTube, and you know it's got the metrics for like the most viewed in the last 24 hours, or actually it's 48 hours. But and at the top of the list, #1 most viewed video on HTGtv was I can't remember which one. It was either Cat Simulator or it was the car owner, seller, I don't remember what it was. It was another simulator. Both AI generated, seemingly, and both very terrible experiences for me. and one of them, well, they're both labeled "Do not buy this game," and then whatever the title is. Those are getting more views than anything. Like, I'm pretty sure those two videos have like as many views as the rest of every other video combined. They're not like hitting it huge numbers or anything. Just like, but they have thousands of views. Thousands of views. And like most of my videos get like 100. Right? Not a lot of traction. Because they're live streams, because they're not guides, they're not useful 10 years later. They're only entertaining for if somebody's looking to be entertained. And a lot of them are a couple, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years old. Who wants to see beardless Brian? You know? Nobody wants to watch those old videos. So, in fact, speaking of, here's kind of an unnerving story for you. So, I made a comment to the wife the other day. I was like, I think I'm going to shave my beard. She was like, what? I was like, no, I'm serious. I think I'm going to shave it. She was like, why? I was like, I don't know. Just been a long time. Shave it. Let it grow back or whatever. Like, see what happens. She was like, no, don't. I was like, why? She's like, I don't know if I can handle your regular face. I was like, whoa. What does that even mean? She's like, no, that's not what I mean. It's not that I don't want to look at it. It's just, I like it better with the beard. I was like, so wait a minute. You like my face better covered? She's like, this is not going how I intended it to go. I was like, wait a minute. So are you saying that I'm just as bad as the beardless Gurg? She's like, no, absolutely not. Just kidding. A picture Tood sent me the other day. He's got a pretty massive beard. Like, it's not like massive beard, it's more like massive, it's like tall. Like, I think Tood's beard could give Nam a serious run for his money in height. Like, I'm serious. That should be the event everyone meets up for. Is Tood's beard taller than Nam is? It's a good chance. So 62%. I feel like this is going to take us into break. Likely have one more post break. So shorter than usual, but not nom. No, nobody deserves a beardless Gurg, bro. Well, actually, some people do. You know, they used to have that show Scared Straight, where they take, like, young teenagers and kids and put them in, like, jails and scary scenarios and try to, like, scare them, you know, straight back to the straight edge path, right? Did they ever inquire about using the beardless Gurg to incite fear in the young ones? You know, like, that, you might. There might be a show there. There might be a show there. I see a handle way back here. Ha. Oop. I see you. One of my favorite versions of that type of show is an episode of the IT Crowd where Moss, who's like the biggest nerd and softest softy, like Moss can't even talk about a woman's bra without passing out. Like, he is very, very, very soft in a lot of ways. Like, he's just not very exposed and you know, very much a unique personality. And yeah, it's good. Moss actually gets arrested. And he's in jail, and he's like doing this whole bit about being a gangster and why he's in there. And then they ask him in the end, and it's like the most ridiculous thing. He should not be in jail for what he did. I did see her before and after. That's part of the reason why I haven't been sleeping the last couple of nights. everything was fine until you posted those photos, bro. Now it's like sleepless nights. Sometimes I wonder if that was your intent. Like, are you showing off, like, your awesome haircutting skills? Or are you just really trying to scare the bejesus out of everybody? So, a while back, I talked to a Garbage Pail Kid creator who's done a lot of stuff for Tops. Different wacky packages and Garbage Pail Kids. He's a very well-known illustrator in that realm. And he lives here in Salem. He's somebody I'm friends with on Facebook. He and I have not talked since we met at the show. But, you know, I follow him and I've been watching him. And he's very active, very, very cool, hip dude. He does sketches, custom sketches, and I've been wanting to get like myself Garbage Pail kitted out, but I'm not exactly sure what to do. Like, I feel like Thumby should be involved, but I also, like, part of me feels like I need to make a couple of them, like a 5-card set or something. And the reason I say that is because, you know, there's like different passions I have that I could see. Like, I'd love to see like me in my car, you know, in some sort of wacky version of that, right? Some sort of disgusting or, you know, snotty or whatever the case may be. Oh, that worked out. I also feel like Happy Thumb should be involved. And so I'm not sure how I want to proceed with that. Like, they're probably not very cheap. Oh, this was not good. I didn't even realize this was there. So I'm sure they're probably, you know, anywhere from $50 to $100 each. But I mean, I thought it might be fun to do like a little limited edition Garbage Pail Kid-esque set of cards. But I don't know if anybody but me would be interested in something like that. You know, I'd like to offer it like a limited edition set or something. But value-wise, I don't know what that would cost or what people would be willing to fork out. Yeah, let's say I know. So I wonder if there's another spot in here that I gotta. Clean the door. Oh, clean the door on the inside. Oh, yeah, good thinking, Chacho. Quick and easy. Man, I'm wondering if they're gonna add like a water bill to the next one, where you have to like manage water or pay for water or something, you know? Because in real life, you'd have to bring your own water or have a water source, and somebody's paying for that. It's not much of a simulator if they're not simulating all of that. Can't open that. Alright, so I'm feeling like the inside of this is pretty stinking clean. There's probably some stuff I missed, though. Alright, so 27% left. This one is pretty gross. jump up and get down. See, when I close it, it sounds like I'm moving, which is kind of a nauseating type of feeling. Ooh, it's Nom. We got another Nom. Get here, Nom. Get here, Nom. Times Square. I feel like it. It's that dirty. Actually, in all fairness, I've never been there, so I've heard that the subways can be pretty greasy, grimy, though. They certainly paint that illusion in a lot of. Ooh, I wonder if I got the. Yeah, I got the inside of that. In a lot of movies and shows and whatnot, right? Like Subway's always a dangerous, dirty place. Made it to Muckingham. I love all the funny names they come up with. They definitely got a good sense of humor. Or somebody, they pay somebody to have it. Might not be the devs. Might be a special writer or something they hire, but I'd love to be involved in moving forward with this. I mean, as much as I'm known for Lego, I enjoy the crap out of this too. And I'm, hopeful for an appearance in Funko at some point now that I've been Funko'd. Discord just like loaded up on my screen. What the hell? Like, I don't have any messages or anything. It just like all of a sudden appeared as the top layer or top window. And when it did, it was all black. It didn't even have any content. It had to like load in. That was really unusual. It's disgusting there. So what I've heard is true then. We're at 82%. Dang, doing work from a distance. From a distance, baby. I don't really know the words, but I think it's something like that. This does remind me of that movie Bullet Train that's been on TV like crazy the last week or so. Great movie. I know I've talked about it a few times, but really entertaining. Like Brad Pitt's role in that is absolutely hilarious. Like he's got like bad luck, but it's actually good luck, if that makes any sense. You'd have to see it and to know. But one of the main stars in that, I do believe, is actually the main star of 28 Years Later as well. Can't remember his name. It's like Aaron Johnson or something. He's also the kid that played Kick-Ass in that old, like, sort of lower budget. Nicolas Cage is in it. What's her name? The Chloe Morris Grace. Chloe Morris Getz. Great something. I don't know what her name is, but she's a pretty good little actress too. She's not really little anymore. First time I think we ever saw her was on 30 Rock. She played Jack Donaghy's nemesis. She was a granddaughter of the new Cabletown owners who just bought out the network that they work for, the NBC or whatever channel it is. And she is a menace. She's like this sweet little cute little girl who does nothing wrong, but is also savage. And Grandpa has no idea, but she is downright dirty. And Jack, the grown man, gets in a war with her, and it's such a good ongoing, you know, battle between them. 30 Rock is a really good, funny show. If you have not seen 30 Rock, I highly recommend it. Tina Fey at her finest. I absolutely love Tina Fey. He was Kraven the Hunter as well. Yeah, so he's like the hot ticket right now. He's, you know how the actors come in waves, right? Like Pedro Pascal's been riding the wave for a while, but like there are certain guys that just all of a sudden take off and they're in everything. You know, it was Clooney at one point and Brad Pitt at one point, and you know, oh, it's not a good movie unless so-and-so's in it. But yeah, Aaron Johnson or whatever. I've heard that too. He might be the new James Bond. So that's exactly proving my point. Bro has just absolutely... And he's been around for a minute too. He's not brand new. He's been around for a while. Because I'm pretty sure... Let's see here. Yeah, Aaron Taylor Johnson. That's who plays Kick-Ass. That's one of the first times I ever saw him. Yeah, he's in Kraven the Hunter, 28 Years Later, Bullet Train, Nosferatu, The Fall Guy. He's in Avengers, Age of Ultron, Kick-Ass 2. He's in Godzilla. He's in Tenet, Kingsman, Shanghai Nights. Boy, I don't remember him in Shanghai Nights. I'll have to go back and see what he plays. I love Shanghai Nights. Because he plays one of the Romanoff twins, right? Like, and Marvel stuff, too. Who's he play in Shanghai Nights? Oh, he plays Charlie Chaplin. Interesting. Interesting. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I remember. Yeah, he's been around for a long time. The old school Sherlock Holmes show back in '07. Looks like he was in an REM movie or video, like the band REM. And that goes all the way back to 2004 is his earliest. No, 2000, In the Apocalypse. 2000 is his earliest credit. So he's been around for a long time. He was Kick-Ass. He was the nerdy little kid in Kick-Ass. Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird to think about? Because when I watch Bullet Train, he plays Tangerine. And I was like, I know I've seen this guy in something, but I can't think of it. And he's got like fancy hair, all slicked back, and like it doesn't look. And when I saw it, I was like, no way! That's the nerdy little kid that pretended to be a superhero and got beat up all the time. So that's essentially what it was until he met Nicolas Cage and Chloe Morris Gretz, whatever. Sorry, I don't know her name. Radalika. Kick-Ass movies were pretty entertaining too. I mean, just sort of downright cheesy in a way, but in a good cheesy kind of way. We're all getting old, Brian. Every day we are getting older. I'm pretty sure we were the only ones who knew what V was. I was actually just thinking about that like a couple days ago, just thinking, you know, that was actually a really good show. Good cinematic TV series. That was like 80s, right? Like late 80s. I want to say like 88 or 90 or somewhere in there. And then they tried redoing it. I don't know that. I feel like we watched it, but I don't remember it at all. But yeah, I want to say they tried redoing it in like 07, 2010, something. A handful of years ago. Yeah, I just remember the first time as a kid seeing like them like hiding in the vents, looking into the bathroom, seeing them, and then like the tear down and like what? That's not what I thought it was happening, you know. I don't want to give it away if somebody wants to watch it, but yeah, the aliens are not as much like us. There's a lot of good television on right now, or a lot of good shows. It doesn't all make it to TV, but there's definitely a lot of good shows. And there's stuff for everybody, right? Like, before it was like there was 10 shows on TV, and that's all you got. 20 shows on TV, that's all you got. You know, if you like Dallas, great. If you didn't like Dallas, guess what? That's the #1 show right now. That's what everybody's talking about, you know. And now that's like, there's so much stuff. Like, you can literally have a conversation with just about anybody, and they'll have a completely different set of shows they watch. There may be some overlap, right? Like, most of us have seen Breaking Bad, but not all of us, right? And some of us have seen Breaking Bad, but not Better Call Saul. You know, so, like, everybody's got their own little things that they like. I know that there's a lot of shows that I think everybody should watch, but nobody wants to watch. Like that tire show I talked about earlier. I mean, there's some racial stereotyping and some inappropriate behavior that goes on, but I kind of find that's what makes the show hilarious, right? And it's not insensitive because it addresses the inappropriate stuffs, but in a non-confrontational way for the most part. But like, there's like gun safety, you know, there's all sorts of things that it covers. Like, I feel like a lot of those shows are good for that kind of stuff. Oh yeah, we gotta get, okay, what about this? Is this open? No. Gotta get this. And I gotta get the inside of that door. And then we're dang near done. Reacher and the White, well yeah, White Lotus was pretty, season 1 was really good. I love the concierge and the whole battle between the stupid husband, the new husband, and him, and all the other stuff that goes on. I really enjoyed that. Now 2 was okay. I enjoyed 2, especially rewatching it. I enjoyed it more. I think I had a higher expectation watching it after the season 1, but it was still really delightful. And season 3 was pretty good. It was a little bit more of like what is happening kind of thing. All right, well, guessing there's some stuff at the end or something. We already double checked the roof, so the roof is good. So better check all the insides of that. Almost fooled me there. Alright, so I'm guessing I've got some more of that on the other one as well. that guy. Got him. There's still some more on this other one, huh? All right. So that's good. Okay. What about all these other doors? That's good. Alright, well. 99%. You guys see anything flashing? How about now? Checking the scan. Oh, there was something up here. So, pull. Okay. And what about that one? Grab rail, good. Grab rail, good. I mean, it's looking pretty solid. Maybe another grab wall up here. Grab rail. Nope. Oh, I saw something that had a decent amount on it. Looks like I got it with that handle. I can't open that one. You guys aren't seeing anything, right? Alright, well, let's go ahead and check it out. 99% of small vent. Seat vent, so small. Oh, hey there. Small vent. Must be. It said A. I see it flashing on the back wall. Alright. Oops. Rear lights. Scrolling display, so rear lights, huh? Unless this is the front. Might be the front. There it is. Okay. Now let's go and safety chain attachments. Safety chain attachments? That's what that is, right? Safety chain. Ah. Okay. Then we got, well, I guess let's. That's fine. Double seat cushions. Ha. David. Emergency exit pull tabs. Roof vents. That one's good. So roof vent, that's actually on top. Nope, gotta use the ladder. So it is on B, we know that much. So what's this one? Okay, outer vestibule door. I don't know what that means. It's gotta be vestibule. Is this the vestibule door? This is the window and the door. This is it. Ding. So that looks like it's going to be Mount Rushless. Hiking days of Mount Rushless. Breathtaking view. Challenge yourself to 100% safe dormant volcano. Business needs a boost. Call Mayor Freya. 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's short a number. I was gonna say somebody needs to call that number. It ain't gonna bang bang. Big stretch. All right, let's see how big this is, and I'll make a decision if I'm gonna do it pre or post BRB. I mean, if it's relatively small, it's only gonna take like 20 minutes or something. I'll just get her done and do it. But if not, oh, it's not gonna take too long, but it's definitely gonna take longer than 20. So, all right. We're gonna take a BRB, and we'll be right back with the final level of our PowerWash Sim Mostly Clean Monday stream. So I'll be right back in roughly 5 to 7 minutes. Salute. All right, what's up? Let's go ahead and take on this final section here, as this will be it, y'all. Drex already got his walk today because it's going to be really hot, so wifey took care of him early, which is nice. Which means now I have some freedom to do some stuff, which is probably going to end up looking like washing my car. After I move some deck boards, we've been needing to replace deck boards on our back deck. For each year, there's like 3 or 4 more boards that just have surpassed their lifetime. And, you know, without a truck, it's been hard to, you know, the Tesla probably could do it, but we didn't really want to put, you know, what are 12-foot boards hanging out of the back of the Tesla. That doesn't seem very safe. Plus, it could scratch up the interior and all that. So we haven't really been willing to do that. And we've had a friend that's like, oh, yeah, I'll do it whenever you want. Just let me know. Well, every time we ask, he's like out of state or whatever. And no, it's not Nam. He would be out of country. And so, anyways, Callan, one of our littles that we've taken care of forever, Reese's like best friend, longest friend, whatever you want to label him as. He's been running a service where he's got like a medium-sized dump truck, and he picks up people's junk and he takes it and throws it at the dump and charges them whatever, right? Like, so he's got all the costs factored in, and he's like, over like a week ago, and he's like, hey, if you guys really need deck boards or whatever, I'll totally meet you there. You just got to tell me when, and I'll make it happen. And so we finally took advantage of that after like literally like 3.5, maybe 4 summers of going, you know, we need to get some deck boards. We finally got them. So we got 23 deck boards that we'll be replacing, and wife's already done 8 of them. She did 8 yesterday while I was streaming and a little bit after, but that's pretty cool. So I'll likely bust out some of those with her today. We're trying to do like 5 a day at least, you know, just to get it done. But we've got all the dangerous ones. There was a couple like rotted out boards. Like if you stood on them, you'd fall all the way through. So we had like things in place to prevent that from happening. Like we had like a big brick over those like, I guess they're workout pads or something you'd see in like a workout room or a gym on the floor. There's little puzzle pieces that you put together, and they're like little squares. So we had one of those with a brick over it that kind of was like, hey, don't stand here. And then we had some other chairs and furniture over a couple of the other boards that were bad. But Jilly got all the really gnarly ones, so no one's going to go through a board anymore. But there are some that are, you know, starting to crinkle and crack and won't be long. By the end of this summer, they'll probably be done for. So we'll be replacing a bunch of those. And I told her for Mother's Day, which was months ago now, that we would get her a new barbecue because that's what she wanted. And we've been back and forth about it because the one that she wants is for sale at Costco and Walmart, and they keep altering in prices. But like, I am sure that Costco is going to be cheaper than Walmart for the same exact product, and one of them's like $100 cheaper. So I'm like, wait a minute, there's got to be like a 4-burner and a 5-burner. There's got to be like an air fryer or something different between the 2 models. So we have not really pushed, you know, that as an urgent thing. We also have a new gazebo. We've had a metal frame gazebo that's just like pretty small and easy, and every summer the top goes bad and it fills up with water and it creates messes, and then it tears, and then we have to replace it. So my mother-in-law is tired of doctoring it up and replacing it, which I don't blame her because it literally is an every year thing. And she bought like a big beefcake Costco one that is huge, and apparently it's a pain in the arse to put together. Not too bad until you get to the tin roof, and guess what? All the tin roof pieces have that PPF film, that protection film, just like the Vego garden stuff that we would. So we get to go and peel a bunch of that junk off again too, which is kind of crazy. But so we got to get the deck boards on, and then we'll get the gazebo up, and then wifey will probably finally make her decision on which barbecue she wants, and we'll get that so that our whole backyard is complete. Then we actually have we've added a bunch of stuff to the backyard, and we're talking about getting a greenhouse too. You know, my wife and her plants, she definitely has a good reason to get one, and it's not going to be one of those things that would just be bought and go to waste, right? Like, she'd have a place for some of her indoor stuff to live. Some of it needs to be a little sweatier, right? A little more humid. And some of it needs to be started at certain times for, you know, better growth in the summer, like some of the foods and stuff. It'd be nice to have a bunch of, like, good food starts growing before we transplant. And we have a bunch of plants. We have peppers, we have potatoes, we have tomatoes, she got celery. She also got asparagus. Trying to think of what else she got. I'm usually pretty good. There's only a few vegetables that I am not interested in. And celery and asparagus are two of them. You know, beets need to be on the try again list. I remember not liking beets as a kid, but I don't really remember why. I feel like we used to have them a lot. I feel like my mom was always like, yeah, eat your beets, they're so good. They're sugary sweet. I don't know why you don't like them. Eat them. Eat them. I just didn't like them. So this is a very unusual piece of art. Looks like the ground needs to be dealt with too, which is always fun. And the outside wall here too. Man, they are cheeky. I wonder how many of these levels were originally intended for the next one, or how many levels they had built before they went, boy, we've got 17 more DLCs for our first game. Maybe we should add some new mechanics. And you know what I mean? Like, I wonder how the process went. If they were always creating X amount, like we're doing 100 trophies and 10 extra levels for free that don't have trophies, or how it all worked. Like, I'd love to know behind the scenes stuff. Maybe if Boo's around, we'll get some firefighter simming again today. Trying to help everybody who was playing with us, even once or twice, because he only played a couple times with us. But trying to get everybody to platinum that wants it. I hope Gerd get there. I should say I carried Gerd to platinum. Right, Gerd? And Kirsten, I've offered help, but she's actually uninstalled it. She's being anti-firefighter right now. And Bobby doesn't care. He uninstalled that game months ago. And that's it. That's everybody. Still thinking about those wheels and tires that I found earlier that are for sale. I'm guessing they've already been sold, just because it was a pretty good deal. But I didn't want to. I'm not trying to spend that kind of money right now. I told the wife I was done buying stuff until my transmission control feature comes out, which could be tomorrow, could be today. They could have already announced it this morning, and I might not have seen it yet. And that's going to be an expensive little get. But it'll change the way my car drives moving forward, and it'll be covered under warranty. So I'm pretty optimistic and hopeful for it. As you guys know, I'm all about driving and making my car faster and more reliable. And I just really have a lot of fun with it, especially in the summertime, which we're getting into. Yeah, if I got that transmission and those slicks. sure be in the 11s, which is absolutely scooting. Boot, scoot, and bogey. I know that's not meaningful to everybody, but having an 11-second car, 10 seconds, ever since Fast and the Furious, like I've always like absolutely dreamed of having a 10-second car. Like 10 seconds is like, you are fast. Everything else is like, oh, that's moving pretty good, that's quick or whatever, you know. Some people it is really fast, but like in the racing community, 10 seconds is like, you've made it. And if that's the case, then I could like maybe start racing in a series. I would love to do that again. I used to race competitively back in the day, doing bracket racing with my Jetta, which wasn't even that fast. But June did go fast. It flew by. There's a lot going on for me, you know, with like car stuff, the car show that we had at the first weekend, and just everything's been wild. We did game break on Saturday, I want to say, because Sunday we were at, I think that's how it went, something like that. No, it was Friday. We did the game break on a Friday because the show was on a Saturday. That's what it was. And it was pretty fun. We did another race night since then too, but no footage was captured, unfortunately. I mean, I got a couple of clips, but they're not even really worth watching. Like Jillian raced the Tesla and nobody was there to record it. We had people in the stands that we thought were recording, but they weren't talking to each other, and they were not. They all thought the other person was recording. They're like, Reese told me he had footage from it. He said, oh yeah, Lily got some and blah, blah, blah. When I asked him about it yesterday, he goes, no, I don't have any. I was like, you told me you did. I think he was just being, like, not wanting to be helpful or not wanting me to use that footage or whatever the case may be. Being a teenager, even though he's almost 21. Starting to get toasty up there. So it's 73 right there. Which probably pretty accurate. Definitely feels like it's heating up in here. Man, I know I said I wasn't going to talk basketball, but last night, the star player of one of the teams tried to, like, go, and he snapped his Achilles tendon. He tore it. He, like, popped it. It became disconnected. You can actually see it in the slow motion replay, and they showed it like 20 times. Like, I was a little nauseous last night, and I wasn't really putting it together either. I was like, man, I do not feel good. Like, I'm just like out of sorts, like just depressed, and like I felt so bad for like a good 20 minutes before I put it together, going, I wonder if it's because I saw this traumatic thing just happen to somebody I really enjoy and have been rooting for. And they kept playing it over and over again. They never addressed it as a tear, but you could see it happen. Like, I've seen other players have that injury, and that's exactly what happened. And what's really crazy is it happened to 3-star players this year in the tournament. 3-star players, right? All 3 of them wear the number 0. Isn't that, like, extremely coincidental? I mean, the number 0 has nothing to do with their injury, but 3 players, not 4 and 3 of the 4, 3 players tore their Achilles, and all 3 of them wear the number 0. Again, no relation to the injury, but just super coincidental. Like, that's so random. And Chacho, that's like, you know, if someone were to ask me, what's the most obvious trait about Chacho? When you think of Chacho, what do you think of? Oh, I think of him killing the chat. That'd be what I'd say. Chacho killing the chat. You know, maybe at the end of this year, I never thought about this. This would be a lot of work, and I'd need help from mods to do it, but it might be worth doing. Creating like a list of like 10, 15, 20 awards, like the most likely to kill the chat, the most likely to be #1 on stream, the most likely to drop a super chat, the most likely to, you know, that might be fun. Do like an HTG streamer award ceremony. Viewer award series. Something. Do like a whole bunch of polls, like who, like ask all the mods, who is the most likely to do this? And then select a bunch of viewers and have like the mod awards too, like who's the most likely to accidentally time somebody out? I think we all know the answer to that one. Hasn't happened nearly as much as it used to, but historically we know who holds the crown. Most likely to go shopping during an important mission. We all know who that is too. Keep waiting for the double. Hey, hey! Oh, I see you. There's one of them. There's one of them. What? Was it me? Was it me? Keep getting told too by numerous people that it'd be really fun to have an adult beverage based stream where I become a little unhinged off the alcohol. But I don't think that's good practice. I think that's a bad idea. But I've been told by a couple different people. You can imagine who a couple of those people were. This is a funny angle design for sure. Yeah, we're already a third of the way done with this area, though. That's kind of crazy. And the ground will make it go faster. But I mean, geez, there's so much funny anglage. And I'm sure I'm going to have to get on top, too. There's always a top, right? Get up in there. Kirsten's laughing. Either she missed some of the comments or she's behind and hasn't seen them yet. I don't feel like those are laughing situations. Well, laughing from me. I blame the cats. Yeah. You're not the only one that's blamed the cats. Come on, get up there. Yeah. It's like almost always a way to parkour up on top, which is nice. Lovely, lovely. It has not happened in a while, which is kind of a bummer. I miss the good old days. Ray's timing people out. Teflon's autocorrect going wild on various people in the chat. Chacho talking about his clock. The good old days. You know who we haven't seen in a while? Every once in a while I get like a retweet or something, but we haven't seen Hoosier in a while. You know, I wondered if that was maybe a byproduct of the whole Teflon situation. You know, because I know they hung out a little bit, or at least they seemed to be kind of chummy. So I wondered if maybe there was a connection to that, like why, or if it, you know, I know that there were some parents or a parental figure or somebody that was being taken care of, so maybe that's gotten more demanding, or the availability of our stream times. I'm not exactly sure. I've been just curious if anybody's seen the Hooge. Often some funny comments or situations that we would share and enjoy. Still no signs of the B-Rad either. I haven't seen anything or heard anything from him in a long time, and even in his own Discord I've heard he's not active, which is crazy. You're dying of laughter. Really? I don't know if I ever got Hoosier added. But no interactions though, Kirsten? Not in the Discord or on place? Have you like talked to Hoosier? Just curious. You know, Tude's account's on all the time now too, but as we found out, like 90% of the time it's not. I doubt that Hoosier has a situation like that, sharing. I don't believe there are any kids involved. I know there was parental figures or grandparents or somebody. I want to say it was mom. I'd have to look. I don't know if I'm friends with Hooge or not. My notifications for offline, online are restricted to like 7 people. It's like only people I stream with, really. So like Kirsten and Gerg and Tude and Boo and Gray and Bobby, and I'm sure there's a couple others too. You know, Tyler P is another one. Pretty sure Doug's on there as well. But I mean, other than those, my notifications are off because I don't like people. I don't like recording and having like, oh, so-and-so just got online, recorded in a video for a guide or whatever. Even the friends sometimes, like it's not intentional, I know, but like Kirsten has those internet problems sometimes. I remember one time, like back in like October or November, like almost a year ago, I was trying to record like a Funko video or something, and it was like, Kirsten has gone offline. Kirsten has come online. Kirsten has gone offline. Kirsten has come online. It's like back and forth. I was like, oh my God, just figure it out. Stay online or get offline already. And it happened once with Gerg too while I was recording, and I even like went and restarted. I was like, nope, this is not happening. This is not happening. Don't need to see people coming on and offline in the corner. It's a huge distraction. And it's not anybody's fault. Like, again, like obviously those were not by choice. But back in the day, back on like the PS3 and stuff, when I couldn't turn those off, I'd have people do that. And I'd have to stop and wait and then go offline and then record offline or whatever, because people would be like, so-and-so is online, so-and-so is offline, so-and-so. Or they'd send me messages like, hey, how are you? I love HTG. You know, they'd like, and maybe they had no idea I was recording, but like you can always see what game I'm playing. So I always felt like they were trying to get their name on a video or whatever, which is another reason why I kind of stopped accepting friend requests. Because for a while it was like, oh, you want to be my friend? Sure. You want to be my friend? Sure. The more the merrier that know about Happy Thumbs. The more the merrier that interact with me, you know, like, and then it started becoming not malicious, but like intentional, you know, and it was like, all right, we gotta stop that. Then that whole thing happened with EA and Apex, and I wasn't able to like stay on. Like, it kept booting me. I don't know if you guys remember that. That was a wild time where I just get booted from the game, and then I'd load back in, like, and it would always work, but it was always happening at like the most inopportune times. All right, we're almost halfway done, y'all. This one did take quite a while. Oh my, there's a giant nom. Why did nom get a statue? What the crap? I'm just now realizing that I have to clean off a dirty nom. I'm sure I'm gonna have to get on top of this thing too, eh? This one I might not be able to parkour onto. It's got some funny slopes. Hey, back to what I was saying earlier about Naked Gun movies. Anybody know if those are on like HBO or Netflix, or like where you can watch those? They might be on like Paramount or something too. I don't know. Sounds like a different kind of tree. With Nom, it's all dirty, all the dirties. What the actual crap? What the actual crap? I should not have physically been able to do that. I like David Blaine all the way up here. Like when I get this done, I'll be about 50%. Not to be confused with 50 cents. Oh! Oh no, oh no. Definitely don't want to fall off. Got some top work to do. See if I can do any work from up here, because Yeah. Maybe just the top, just the tip. Downward anglage, at least as much as I can, as close as I can. Probably gonna need a ladder on the back side there, but let's go back to Shorty. I love how you can just float off the edge like this. Almost doesn't make sense. I feel like I got all of this. Making my way around. Still holding at 73 degrees. I'll be cooking later. It'll be like 80 in there. We really do need to get a new air conditioning unit or perhaps a mini split. We've talked about the mini split, you know, gosh, like an air conditioning unit is fairly expensive, right? They're the roll around kind like we would want is anywhere from like $300 to $550. And a mini split's like $2,000 to $5,000. You know, especially including install, because some of those, you have to cut a hole in the side of your wall and run electrical and stuff. I'm not really trying to do that. I've never done it before. One of my buddies is like, oh, it's so easy. We're so easy. We can do it. I'm like, well, man, maybe I can pay you to do it. No. You could do it. It's easy. It's easy. I'm like, well, I don't want to do it. I always seem to mess up measurements. Oh no. You'd be fine. You'd be fine. It'd be easy. It'd be easy. Like, be one of those jobs where I end up having to pay somebody to fix something that I messed up on top of the install, right? That's usually how those stories end for me. But yeah, we've got a few things we're going to try to do. I don't know. Justin, are you still out there watching? I know it's been a minute since Justin's made a comment. Often is listening in the background though. I need like a, I don't know if skid steer is the proper tool, but I need something that I can either borrow or rent for like an hour or three, where I can sort of dig out. Like basically, so here's the deal. We have a driveway, right? It's flat, nice flat cement surface, right? And then we have gravel with sand and rock and bark dust and all sorts of stuff mixed in depending on where you're at. And they're pretty much even. Like right now, I would almost say that the bark and stuff is a little bit higher. And we want to get some rock with the cement in it, right? So that it solidifies and it keeps all the rocks. So it's like, it's rocky, but it's not loose gravel. And if we do that, it's going to be like an inch higher than the driveway right now. So we need to like push a bunch of stuff out of the way, right? Does that make sense? Justin is still there. I know you have access to like all sorts of tools and things. I didn't know if you knew somebody, or maybe your mom's husband or boyfriend, whatever it is, maybe. What is this? Oh, Phantom's out there. What is up? Got that certain fried freak 7 days a week. The moist. Yeah, makes it. Oh, I can't believe you're moist meow meowing, bro. That made my day. What up? What up? Oh, now I'm gonna be walking around singing that all day. Jillian's gonna be pissed at you, bro. Oh, Jillian's gonna be pissed at you. She loves Flula too. The guy who sings absolutely loves Flula. He makes us laugh in everything he does. But she's not a fan of the moist meow. Oh, she will, dude. Trust me, she'll be pissed. Like, there's another song a long time ago. Mark played it for me. In fact, he didn't even play it for me. He like sent it to one of his like brothers, basically. They're not blood, but they're step bros or whatever. They're linked by marriage. And he sent him this. It was I don't even know how to explain it. It was a very low budget rap video, and it has some of the worst lyrics of all time in it, and like the way he says it. And I'll say it like, if I want to annoy Jillian, or like if I want her to be like no and like kind of get a smile, but like more like get her attention, I'll start singing that, or I'll play the song. We've always called it the cringe music, cringe rap. And it was like the worst lyrics, and like this green screen with like a galaxy and stuff. It was really rough. I mean, I don't want to hate on it because it's somebody's art, right? I don't know if they were trying to be funny or if they were trying to be like for real. How you want me to? Nah, for real. Oh my god. Jillian's gonna be like, shut up! I heard that! It's that bad. It's that cringy. Let's wait for Gray to say, oh, is it as bad as your singing? Worser. I think I got most of the downward stuff. I still feel like there's some stuff up there that's not rang off. Although I'm not seeing anything on the meta. I know it's a giant nom. It's a dirty nom too, bro. I got to get them all clean. Ugh. Ugh. 62% creeping up on that funny number. Oh, my stomach just let out a battle cry. Feed me, Seymour. I've been eating those sandwiches from Kazi's. I really want a sandwich after all that sandwich talk earlier at Subway and Jersey Mike's and everything. I haven't eaten at Jimmy John's in like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. I was told I'm not supposed to eat there anymore. You know, we don't do a lot of like, I guess the proper word would be testing or, you know, avoiding, you know, if like one owner of like 75 stakeholders does some shady stuff or says some stuff or has beliefs, like we don't often chop that up as like, you know, like we're never gonna eat there. But this particular one, I was told I'm not allowed to eat there anymore, so I'm not eating there anymore. There's a couple people close to me that feel that way, so I've just opted to not even press the issue at all. But I guess like the owner is like a big game hunter. He likes to like kill elephants and lions and stuff for sport. Like obviously no eating or preserving or anything, you know, like so he's kind of a murderer. So at least that's what I've been told. That may be super old. And, I mean, McDonald's has the largest worm farm too, and they make worm burgers. You know, not everything you hear is true, but you know, I think in that particular case, that was the case. I don't know if it still is. Yeah, we don't really support that, like hunting for food or doing the right ways, like getting a license and getting a tag and going, you know. And maybe that's even still pretty cool, but I'm a big fan of, like, we even, like, recently my dad and my younger brother went halves on a cow. They had, like, a, you know, full cow. We got some ground beef and some steaks and stuff from them, and super cool and generous, right? Like, beef is expensive these days, and it's nice to not have to go buy some for a couple weeks. However, we found that the ground beef had like a very different taste to it, and we were trying to figure out like why. And like, and funny enough, my brother kind of almost took offense to it because he's like loving it, and he's on this like beef and rice diet where it's like all he eats, no sugars, no cheese, no hardly any dairy, like. And then he's very strict with his workout plan, and he's like 6'3" and like 100 pounds, like he's skin and bones. Not unhealthy on any level, right? Probably in way better shape than I am. And I don't mean like in shape, but also like just in shape. Anyways, he was like, "Oh, these cows are only fed grass. That's all they get." And I was like, "Well, that's what everybody says. All the beef we buy is only grass fed and free roam and free range or whatever they call it." And it just tasted different. And like we had it in spaghetti, right? Like I even asked the wife, like, was the meat bad? Like, did we thaw it like Tuesday and make it on Saturday or something? Like, did it maybe spoil over the time we were waiting? She's like, no. And I mean, maybe something like that happened with that particular, maybe it got melty and refrozen, or I have no idea, but it was not something. And so my dad offered more, and we were like, yeah, I don't think so. And like, he kind of took offense, like, well, what do you mean? I was like, I don't know, we just didn't like it had a weird taste to it. Like I didn't even finish my spaghetti. Like, that's how bad it was. Because like we usually, back in the day, my wife used to make these amazing meatballs, and she'd like take Parmesan cheese and all this salt and seasonings and mix it all up with breadcrumbs, and they were just absolutely delightful. I loved them. And then we sort of decided, you know, it takes like an extra hour to do that, and like, you know, you have to fondle the meat, which is never fun. So we stopped doing it, and we just started like, you know, chopping up ground beef in a pan, and then we just mix in the sauce with it, so it's all like tiny little pieces, little fragments within the sauce, right? And that's how so it was like there was no escape in the beef. It was in the sauce, and it wasn't good, and like nobody got sick off of it or anything, but it just didn't taste right. Dang, now I want food. I feel you. I want food, bro. I don't have like this high-end pizza place I can order from and get like whatever it is. You always get deliciousness. I mean, some of it's not stuff I would like, but some of it's like, yeah. Like pineapple on pizza, yeah. That one too, good. That'd be another award. Most likely to fight another viewer over pizza, pineapple on pizza. Those are two definitives. Kirsten for shopping and Kirsten for fighting about pineapple on pizza. I feel like there's at least one other person that's in agreement with her, but I feel like the tide is mostly against her on that one. Which, again, nobody's wrong. Although her reaction makes it fun to talk about it, right? Like, nobody's wrong on that, but the reaction makes it fun to talk about. Either she's way behind or she's over me today. One of the two, because she's not commenting. Like she's buffered her way into the past. I liked your little exercise statement that you sent to me earlier. I may not be rich, I may not be, but at least I'm also not good at running, or whatever it was. The other one was pretty good too, with the cars. Barbecue meatballs and pineapple. Oh my gosh. Yeah, they used to make, Costco used to have this Yoshida's Hawaiian, it was like a sweet and sour sauce. And my dad used to get like these meatballs, these frozen meatballs from Costco. And that was like dinner one night a week. We'd have those sweet and sour sauced meatballs over rice. I'm trying to think, we had something else with it too. I don't remember what it was though. We'll have to ask him. It wasn't, like, no vegetables are coming to mind. I mean, we definitely ate vegetables, but not in that situation. But I've always wanted to try and find that sauce again. I would imagine they make a version of it, or maybe Yoshida's isn't around anymore. I feel like they are. But at the same time, it'd probably murder me because of my pineapple intolerance these days. Yeah, listen, where's yellow? Yeah, that when I ate at my dad's a week ago, man, that I'm pretty sure that the seasoning he used took a couple hours to catch up to me, but when it hit me, or, you know, another thing that it could have been, I mean, this is a weird thing to say, but I don't ever eat meat that's like medium rare or rare or anything like my meat is always pretty dry and cooked and gray, like the way it's supposed to be. And people argue with me, no, it's supposed to be bloody and drippy and blah blah blah. No thanks, don't want that. Not a fan of blood, not a fan of eating blood. So that all aside, the meat was a little undercooked for my preference, but I don't think that's what got me. I think that we found out later my dad's seasoning he used had onions in it. You know, sometimes dad overlooks that thing. He's getting older, and, you know, I don't, most of the time I'm with him, I'm not eating all the stuff. Like, I'll eat the meats and stuff, but I'll just eat the things that don't have onions. I'm always like, don't worry about it, right? Like, just make and cook what you want to cook, and I'll just pick around whatever's left. And so I don't think he was thinking when he used that. And to be honest with you, here's the kicker. I think he was using that particular, the rub or whatever seasoning it was, because we got it for him for Christmas last year. So, like, I feel like he was like, oh, Brian got this for me. I'm going to use it and show him that I'm, you know, taking advantage of this delicious rub that he got. But we didn't get it because we knew I was going to eat it. We got it because, whoa, settle down, Gray. Settle down. What up, Tony? And Gray, don't ask questions you don't want the answer to. time him out. You know, Chacho might have a good point there. I still, but yeah, my only one, bro. I was hoping I'd expand by now, but you're still my only fan. I'm trying to think of who. The other day I had like this really random idea. I don't remember who it was for or why, but I had this whole concept that like just to be annoying and dysfunctional, that like all of us would put our feet together and take a gross dirty foot pic and send it. I don't remember who it was or why. Like I was all on it, and as soon as I said it, everybody looked at me and was like, "All right, let's talk about something else." like, boy, Brian, you sure know how to ruin a conversation. So a typical weekday, yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Yeah, I mean, hey, sometimes I'm a little disappointed that the reasons you guys are here are to wait to see what stupid thing I see next, but at the same time, it does bring a little bit of mystery to everybody's lives. Right? All right, 85%. Like I said, I'm bittersweet on this. Like, I'm stoked I'm getting it all done, and we've got everything completed. But at the same time, like, man, most of the Clean Mondays are going to be taking a couple weeks off. It was happening anyway, so the timing is going to be about perfect, because once I get done with Lego Dimensions, you know, September-ish, whenever August, September, whenever I finish. Maybe it'll happen way faster than I think, but I think it's going to take me quite a few streams. Like, I want to say I did like 40 streams after beating. That's like, it took like 40 streams, but I don't know if I was doing 2 hours, 1 hour, 4 hour. I don't remember, but I feel like I had up to 40 Lego Dimension streams when I did all the 1016 bricks and went through all that. And boy, it's going to be a mess, because I'm not going to remember anything. I'm going to be like, who does what? Why is this happening? It's been a long time, y'all. 10 years. And there's so much to that game with all the different characters and all the different secrets and Easter eggs and, you know, different routes. And I'm stoked, though. I'm looking forward to it. And I hope you guys are, too. I hope it does really well. I hope it just knocks it out the park. I would love to see record-breaking numbers. I mean, I'm not expecting that, but I mean, I'd love to see it. It's just such a huge game. A lot of people passed on it at first and were like, man, it's Toys to Life. I'm not playing it. And then now, 10 years later, they're all like, man, I wish I would have played it. You know, like, I've heard that so many times from people. And I get it. It was an expensive, you know, investment. And if you didn't have a way to store it or what, you know, there was no official way or stand or any collecting thing or anything, which made it hard to use. And so many characters, right? Like, they should have limited it to like 20, 15 or 20. But there's like a lot more than that. There's a lot more than that. When you get all the vehicles and all the little tools or whatever you want to call them. It's a lot of stuff. You know, and one thing I am a little worried about, but they've been stored in a cool, dry place for the whole time, so I think they'll be okay. But I've heard of a lot of people's toy tags not working. So we might run into it, or like my wild style might not work or something. And if, like, depending on who it is, it could be a big time hurdle. And then I'll have to figure out how I'm going to proceed with that. I know there's a tag writer that is a little bit iffy on legality, but there's also other ways to, you know, find and purchase used ones. Or I know that my local bricks and minifig store that sells Lego had a bunch of Lego Dimension stuff, but that was like a year ago when I went in there last, so I have no idea if they would have anything that I would need. Nor do I want to pay like $50 for something I've already bought for like 10 or 15 or 20, whatever the different packs were. believe. Is that what it's supposed to be? I think I got it all. It's not showing nothing. Still never, yeah, I was gonna say, I never got a ding on this guy. I'm sure there's a couple of squares or hexagons or whatever on the dummy over there. Ah, fine. The outside line first. Too. But I'd already done that wall. Guess not. Oh, this didn't go very fast. This took an hour. I'm still going. You said 20-25 minutes, bro. Appears you weren't paying very good attention to your clock. Whoa. Well, I'm curious to see how far we get tomorrow on Borderlands 3. We have quite a few chapters left, like 6 or 7. So I don't think we'll make it through the storyline. But you never know. You never know. They might be shorter chapters. We may be halfway through the one we're on, or at the end of it. I don't think so. I don't really remember the details of where we left off. But then we'll take at least a week hiatus from that, and then we'll reevaluate how far we get tomorrow with when that'll return on Tuesdays. But that'll likely be, you know, towards the end of July or August before we jump back into that. So we'll take a few weeks off. I'm hoping to get all of the Funko stuff done. It's going to be a challenge because it's the hot time of year again where I can only cut audio in the mornings. So I'll be kind of limited to my normal production routine of like busting out a video, scouting, recording, editing, and then getting it all ready for audio and then doing another one the next day. I try not to do too many at once because like sometimes my brain will mesh them together. And I'll be like, oh yeah, you gotta come over here when maybe that's part of the last level or the next level or whatever. So I also like doing one at a time because if I make a mistake and I don't realize it until I'm like deep in the editing or whatever, then I can always revert it. But if I progress, then I make a save and then I can't revert it back to where the previous video was, if that makes sense. You know, it doesn't happen very often that I need to go back more. Usually, like, once I get it recorded, like, it's solid and I can do it. But sometimes, like in the past, things have happened that make me really worrisome, like Rivendell. You know, like, I recorded all of that and then went to the next area and recorded all of that. And I made a save in between those recordings. So once I got to the footage and tried to edit Rivendell, it was not usable footage, but I didn't have a way to revert my save because I only had one save file and I could only go back one step. So, and I'd already progressed. So I try not to go, it's kind of a stupid rule, but it ensures the closest thing to perfection for me. Like, my videos aren't always perfect. There's sometimes a more efficient way to do something we find out later, or, you know, I'll go left when I should have gone right to begin with, or whatever. But for the most part, you know, we're pretty on most of the details between feedback from friends that have played ahead of me, like Gray or Kirsten or you know, whatever, to my guide writers, Doug, Tyler, Adam, all the people that have helped out over the years. You know, there's definitely information that comes out later sometimes. And so, yeah. September football season, huh? I'm excited for Summer League. I mean, not really. It's always fun to watch the youngsters play, but it's not quite like the NBA stuff. But yeah, the draft will happen next week, or this week actually, Wednesday. And then we go into Summer League the first week of July. Vegas. I always talk about going, but I never get real serious about it. But who knows, we might go this time. Depends on who we draft, who's playing. I doubt Scoot will play. I doubt Shaden will play. Tumani probably won't play. He's such an established player. You know, once you get a good run session in, you don't normally go back to play more. So I don't know. We don't have a very high draft pick, so the player could be really good, but I don't know who we're gonna get or any of that. So. But I feel yeah, basketball just ended last night, and I'm already ready for the new season to start. Unfortunately, the players need a little bit of recuperation time. Man. With as much money as they make, you'd think they'd have clones of themselves and they'd be able to play year-round. Some of them do. Some of them go play in Euro leagues and Canadian leagues and other places. Especially the women, especially, because they get hosed on pay, man. I don't know how you really change that, but I think a lot of it starts with like ticket sales and things like that, jersey sales, but the women just get paid a fraction of what the men get paid. Like I think they showed like last year's Rookie of the Year, Caitlin Clark, one of the best rookies in a long time. Her pay is like, I want to say it's like $75,000 or something like that for a year. Now granted, they play less minutes, less games, but not by much. Not by much. You know, the games are only 8 minutes shorter. And I don't know how many games. I think they play 60 games, 55, 60 games for the W. And men play 82. So there's definitely more games, which equals more revenue from ticket sales and everything that comes with that. But again, I don't see how it could be so different. And the rookie for the men was like 12 million. So 70,000 or whatever I think is what it was for the female rookie last year, the highest paying rookie, 70,000, which is, you know, a decent amount of money. But you know, you look at the men, Victor Wembanyama is like 1.4 million or 2. I don't remember. It's a lot. The separation is unacceptable. Oh, I almost missed that. Okay, so all those lights over there. Did I get everything else here? Is that just a reflection? Yeah, it's just a reflection. That's terrible, man. That's very deceiving. Yeah, so this guy is done. Old mom is donezo. Oh, there's some on the... God. Oh, I never did finish this light over here. Spinning around takes forever, too. Probably another one of those that needs some help. Yep. I think that's mostly what it is. Just the lights are left. So I got both of those. Flip it to the hop button. You just don't stop that. Ding, 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 ding. Ding. Alright, so we still got some things to dings. Oh, there's one of them. All right, only tree left. Crystal sculpture sections. So it's got to be on top. Oh. Oh, damn it. All right. Small platform bench. Curved bench. Small platform bench. This guy. Large platform bench. Where is the small one? Is this it? Small platform. Okay. Let's just be all in the back. Oh. And wave sculpture plaque stand. Okay. So this will be my final ding of Power Sim 1, y'all. So this will be my final ding. Ready? Ready? Ah, bittersweet. Rock out with your clock out. I need to get the rock out, bro. Darcy D'Arcy. That's funny. Yay, I did it. So you can see all of the circles around are filled with white, meaning I have completed them all. Challenge. Challenge mode. New locations. What? This is not new. These are old, bro. See, this is what I don't understand. The game has an issue, and maybe it's intentional, where it resets things that you've already done. I've for sure 100% done these. In fact, I needed to do these, I believe, in order to get the platinum trophy. So it's weird but it's weird that it says new. Same with vehicles. New. All of them. And I've done all of these. So shame on its save file system. I don't know why it does that. It did that with the seasonals too. Look, none of the seasonals are complete. None of them. And I've done Santa's Workshop 2 maybe 3 times. I've done the cruise ship at least 2 times. Ice rink has been at least once. But it's weird how it does that. But all of them, all the other ones, seem to work just fine. So again, I feel like it's creating a replayability. But man, it almost pains me to do this. How many hours? 176 shown. I better leave that on for a little bit so it catches up. Although I should be able to go over here and check it out on my profile. You can see the top 3 games right there. It's got to be close to the top. Man, are you serious? I've logged more hours with Lego Batman, 190 hours. How did I log? I must have spent a lot of time in menus. I mean, that's got to be what it is. You know, recording and reverting saves and going back, because it counts all of your play time and probably pause time too. I'm really surprised I have 200 hours in Dying Light. I mean, I remember playing the crap out of this with Doug and a little bit with Jeremy too. That's how old this is. And I guess I platinumed it, but I never did all the DLC. Same with Far Cry. But I mean, it's kind of funny to see that most of these games that I spent all this time on, I did platinum. Friday the 13th, not done yet. And I don't know if they have like some private servers up now. But I mean, yeah, there's successfully. I mean, I have to be like 5 away or less on that one. Escaping the boat as a passenger 13 times. As a passenger, I was usually the driver. You know, I really wish it was funny. We were talking about this the other day, and I was like, "When's the next Friday the 13th?" And it was that week. It was a couple weeks ago. It would have been really cool to be able to play that with a whole bunch of people, but not fun in a public environment. People are just too toxic and unpredictable and just downright terrible. So I try to stay away from that stuff. But well, guys, that's gonna do it for today. So we got almost a full stream out of it. I'm hoping you guys enjoy the rest of your day. I will be back tomorrow with some Borderlands 3 with the whole squad. I got Kirsten, Gerg, and the Baba. What is this? Final notice from no reply at Ankara at cydd.org.tr telling me my Xfinity bill is overdue. I love that these people try to scam, but they can't even figure out an email that works proper. Let's see here. Just making sure there's no new information that should be shared. Sometimes I get those last minute emails. Oh no! Kirsten timed him out. What happened? What happened? Kirsten. Unhide user. No idea. Are you trying to take Ray's most likely to time somebody out accidentally? It's kind of funny that we talked about that. And Race hasn't done it in a long time, but Kirsten comes in swinging. All right, guys, that's going to go ahead and do it for me. Thank you so much for hanging out. Much love to you all. Appreciate my mods. Appreciate all you out there watching. The only one that don't appreciate is the Gray. No, I'm just kidding. Appreciate you too, bro. We need to play some games. It's been a while. And Justin, if you have any equipment or ideas, I'm not asking you to do it, but if you have access to something that might help me with my lowering my terrain so I can get some new rock delivered, that would be helpful. If not, I'll just have to go to like a rental place locally. And Jillian wants to get a skid steer up in here, but I'm like, who's going to drive that? That could take out our whole driveway on accident if someone's not careful. So anyways, much love to you all. If you have not already, please check us out at HappyThumbsGaming.com. We also have HTG merch over at HTGmerch.com. And of course, yeah, that's going to do it for me. Hope to see you tomorrow for another lovely HTGtv stream. As always, until next time, salute.